StockPulse Newsroom. We are talking Renforth resources today. That's RFR and the CSE and RFH. RF and the OTC marks estate. And I've got Nicole Brewster, the president and CEO. Nicole, looks like some more field work down here at Surimeau. So, you're just got done with, I guess, PDAC running through there and put out some news here. So first time we've been able to connect. So yeah, let's run through the highlights here for investors.
For sure. Thanks. Good to see you again. Surimeau's wild and wonderful. The EM survey, we can call that a definitive win. It's a nice roadmap to mineralization everywhere that we've got an EM anomaly. When the guys could find outcrop, they found mineralization. So in the course of the program, which was pretty much the month of May and the very beginning of June, I guess, more than 400 samples into the lab for assay. That includes looking at the rare earth site. It includes looking at some pegmatites to see if there's lithium potential, but a bunch of samples on the Lithium Trend, which we talked about last time, the 2.7 kilometers, which is 3.7 kilometers north of the Victoria, which we now know is a 20-kilometer mineralized structure. We previously knew it to be mineralized in the west, where historic work was done at our drilling over 2.2 kilometers. We knew we had about 6 kilometers of mineralization there. We knew it was mineralized in the east, but with this survey, we had EM anomalies in the middle, and the guys were able to find access and get into the middle and find mineralization, which has never been documented. So that's new. That hangs that whole 20-kilometer trend together. In the press release was a map, and the map has little tracks on it. The gray ones are old from the year before, and the red are the tracks the guys took this year from their GPS. And it's neat because for the 330 square kilometers, you can see where the tracks are, both last year and this year, but you can see where there are no tracks, and that's virgin ground that hasn't been explored yet. So what's really exciting about that, this one in the press release, a friend of ours, a shareholder of ours, is a contractor. And he went out on the property to test a piece of equipment he got. And he went to a spot, sent me the UTMs. He's like, according to the equipment, there's some amount of surface mineralization there. Not huge numbers, but a particular piece of equipment he's using is not a lab. It's not going to give you big numbers. But he sent me the UTMs, and our geologist, our head field guy, Francis, said, no, we've never been there. So, I mean, that's wildly exciting because it tells you that virgin ground could still give us more too. So, yeah, Surimeau's just getting interesting. Waiting patiently for the lab to send us the results. And 20 kilometers, then another 2.5 to the north with road access and hydroelectric power lines, which are how the mineralization was discovered in the first place, in fact. But it's the cheapest power in Canada, and it's the greenest power in Canada.
Yeah. So let's talk about what's next here. Obviously, you're on pins and needles here, waiting to see what comes back here. You own this baby. This is your baby. You own 100% of it. You got some infrastructure here. I guess give us a little blue sky in here on what's possible here moving forward.
Well, hell, what's possible? I can't even, blue sky can't even begin to go there really, because you pull back a little bit, look at the world, look at what's happening with the need for we're battery metals. We used to call battery metals base metals, but it's sexier to say battery metals. But we're still an ultramafic with nickel cobalt. Both of those have applications for EVs, but nickel's also used to harden steel, right? So cobalt really only comes out of the Democratic Republic of Congo, which is a horrible place. So green, better ESG value cobalt's going to be an interesting thing. And it occurs other places. It's just never been mined because with child slave labor, they mine it for nothing in the DRC. Then the VMS or MMS, whichever it is, gives us copper and zinc. Well, copper's Dr. Copper. He's a harbinger of where the commodities are headed. And Dr. Copper's already woken up. So we need these metals. We've also got lead. We've got silver, tiny bit of gold. However, we refer to it as polymetallic, which is exciting for me because in terms of risk, we're not putting all our eggs in one metal. These metals all go up and down. Generally speaking, they're all going to be needed in the future. There's not enough sources coming online of any of them. They're needed not just to build batteries for EVs, because, nickel and the NCM batteries will be long haul batteries, but they're looking at a cheaper lithium-based battery for short haul. Well, we might have lithium on the property. We know we have lithium in the 20-kilometer structure that's useful for making Gorilla Glass and such. But the form of lithium for batteries is a different crystal structure. We don't know if we have that yet. But we've got everything. We have a little bit of everything. We have 20 kilometers of it. It's wholly owned. It's just we're just south of the northern route of the Trans-Canada Highway. I mean, we're in a mining camp. We're in a mining area. All the services we need are there. Familiarity with mining is there, and nobody lives on the land. It's all... In Quebec, they won't call it this. In Ontario, we would call it Crown land. It's government land. It would be, in the States, it would be Bureau of Land Management land, which means that we're not moving anybody out of their house to do our exploration. So we've got a lot of work to do. We've only drilled off 2.2 kilometers, but the guys are going back in the field, and they'll be doing more prospecting. Specifically, they'll go to that UTM point they haven't been to before, but we'll also be trying to do a bit of stripping. We do have areas where we got EM anomalies but couldn't find outcrops, so they'll go out and do some some small scale stuff to try and create outcrop, and we'll do some mapping. But we're leading towards a drill program in the fall is where all of this is headed, except while it's summer, we can access, there's no snow on the ground, we can access the rock, so we're going to do it because we learn a lot, and we're waiting for assays. Once we have the assays in hand, any interesting areas, they'll go back and channel sample them. And I'm quite interested to see the lithium. Not that we started out for lithium, but if it's there, I'm agnostic as to what we get excited about on this property. So we'll see. Right now it's the 20-kilometer feature, but that could change.
You certainly set up a busy summer there, and I look forward to hearing if you get a lithium hit there. I'm sure you'll be excited to see that as well. So Nicole Brewster, she's president and CEO of Renforth Resources, RFR on the CSE, RFHRF, and the OTC markets in the States. Nicole, thanks again for that update, and we'll certainly look forward to checking back in.
Perfect. Thanks so much. See you later.